What up, what up, what up? This is Mike, the philosopher, here with the lovely TJ. How are you, dear?
I am doing fine.
Our conversations have been getting a little heated here, but very interesting, I will admit too. You bring a great perspective. Let me ask you a question here.
Okay.
Because in the atmosphere, I just pulled a question out of the sky. It ain't even my question. I just pulled it out of the sky. Okay.
Okay.
And the question is, are women becoming more lazy in relationships in the West? I mean, do we have like a more of an entitled, I don't need to work for anything. Everything should be handed to me and given to me. Um, mentality that's sweeping the nation, because there seems to be a lot of entitlement. I watched this one video where this young lady had this one guy and she brought 18 of her friends, right? It was her birthday, right?
Oh, I seen that.
You seen
Yeah.
that one? And
Yeah.
she brought 18 of her friends and she expected her man to pay for everybody. And people, what did you think about that video, first of all?
Well, I felt like, that's that generation, what, Z or one of the millennials. And as I said before, they do feel entitled. They feel like things should be handed to them. Because it was her birthday, no, I don't think that he should have had to pay for all her girlfriends or whoever else she invited. That was not a discussion that was had beforehand. So no,
Right.
why would he do that? Now, there are some men out there that will say, hey, I got this. Don't even worry about it. But in normal society, that just really doesn't happen. And so for them to attack
For
him,
18 people,
like,
Elon
yeah, I
Musk
mean,
wouldn't agree to that.
no. And so for them to attack him and be like, how dare you, blah, 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 to me, they were in the wrong. So as far as you saying, has women become lazy in that aspect, you have to still, here we go again, looking at the generations. You have to look at the age group that we're talking about. So yeah, if you're talking about younger women, they have.
So you would agree that women are becoming lazier in just in work and in relationships and everything,
I think
because things are
certain
coming easy,
women,
because things
yeah,
are coming
certain
easier to
women,
them.
they want they want to be taken care of. Like you said earlier, they want to be taken care of. They want that sugar daddy to take care of them while they go shopping and do everything else. Not all women want that. I don't want to just be taken care of. I want to be taken care of, but not in that aspect. I want to be taken care of in a different way.
What's
You
your
know,
way? What's your way?
my way is I want to be
You want
taken
back
care of.
rubs? You want feet rubs?
Hey, that would be nice. And
Feet
I can
licks?
give the back rubs and baths and all that for him too. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay.
But I'm going to reciprocate what you give me. The same energy you give me, I'm definitely going to give back to you.
Mm-hmm.
But the women of the younger generation, a lot of them, yeah, they feel like, oh, he got to do this. He needs to do this and this and this for me. I don't need all that. I don't need for you to do all of that for me.
You
I
know,
want your emotional. I need you emotionally. I need you spiritually. I need you there when I'm feeling weak and down to lift me up, because you're supposed to be my best friend. That's what
mm-hmm.
I want. I
Mm-hmm.
want a best friend with my husband. So as far as you buying me a Birkin bag or whatever, that's material things. That doesn't, it's nice. Yeah, it would be nice to have, but to me, it's the little things that mean more to me than the
Right.
material things.
Right. Yeah, because I noticed some of them don't even want a 9 to 5 job. They don't want to really work.
Huh.
There's been a
I wish I didn't have to work,
hmm,
but I wish I didn't have to work, honestly.
well,
But it gives me purpose, and so I love to work, but due to my situation,
mhm.
sometimes I wish I did not have to work.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? But
But is it more of a mentality, a more of a lazier mentality? Like it seemed like in today's times where things are getting more and more convenient, people want to do less and less work.
well, yeah, if it's easier, why not do it less? You know what I'm
But does that
saying?
spill over into relationships? Like you don't even want to do stuff. Like there's a lot of women in the millennial crowd don't know how to cook, don't know how to clean, don't know how to do
And you're
basic
right, because
things.
their mama was out in the clubs instead, working
Right.
and popping it instead of teaching their daughters how to cook, clean, and take care of a house. So
Do you know the two things that a man is expected to do?
provide.
And starts with a P,
No, I
protect.
don't know. I don't. Okay, provide and protect.
Provide and protect. Okay. Now tell me the two things that a woman is expected to do.
It's more than two things.
Okay. Okay.
It's way more than two things. That list
As
is long, boo.
as men, what do we expect our women to do?
Cook, clean, take care of the household, make sure the kids is good, have sex, good sex.
That's expected of the men too, by the way. But
Anyway, I think our list is a lot longer than a man, but
cooking
if a
clean.
woman feels safe
But
with a
here's the thing though.
man,
But let me ask you this: can a man get away with not doing one of those?
provide and protect,
Yes.
um, a woman wants to feel safe with a man, period, point blank. She wants to
Okay.
feel safe.
So
Okay.
can he like I don't protect, I don't I don't provide like Nikki would do or something, you know? Can he
So
or
if,
Cardi? Well, can he say that I don't protect, I don't provide, I don't do none of that, but I still got
well,
my girl or whatever? Can he do that? Can he say that?
I still got my girl. Well, then how do you look at yourself as a man if you don't want to protect or provide for your family? As a
Exactly.
man, you would
Yeah.
want,
Yeah. I
but that's
I
being a leader.
I totally agree. I
So that,
totally
okay,
agree.
so that's being a leader.
Why don't women have that shame? That same shame a man would have for not being a good protector and provider. Why don't women have that shame for the same things that men expect out of them?
That I don't want to cook every night,
And don't want to
a
cook,
whole
don't
meal,
want to
that
cook
I don't
every
want to
night and
clean
don't
every
want to
night.
clean. Yes.
I don't want to clean up after the kids every night. It's like coming home to a second job. That's what y'all don't understand. I come from a job, then I gotta go to my second job. I used to say that all the time. Ugh, I gotta go home to my second job. You know what I'm saying? So you guys have two things that you gotta do. Okay, like you said, provide and
Provide
protect.
takes a lot of hard work, by the way. Okay.
But the woman provides too. You're downplaying what a woman. Okay, men, they're physical. They hauling bricks. They're
That's a
blah
good
blah blah.
that's a
There's
good
women
man
that are
impression, by the way.
welders.
That was
That
awesome.
there's there's a lot of women welders. There's a lot of women who lay bricks, but women who work in offices, who are doctors, who are accountants, who are lawyers, they work just as hard, and you cannot downplay how hard it is for them and how stressful it is for them, and then still have to come home and do all this other work
Are
that the
women
man
are
expects
women in
for
the
them to
West
do.
are women in the West less than women in the East? Are they weaker women than women in the East? Because the women in the East can do all of this stuff.
Oh my God.
No,
I think you need to
I'm just
go
asking the
ahead.
question.
I think you need to go ahead and move back to
No, no, no,
Africa.
no, 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 no,
Move to
no.
Africa.
No, it's
It's
just a
not
question to
it's
stimulate the
not
mind.
about
That's all it
if
is.
one is stronger than the other. Like I explained
Why
before.
is it that that cannot happen only here in the West? It's happening in other places.
But I
Women
explained
are
that to
able to,
you
but
because
women
we
are
were,
able to do all of that stuff.
but we were, like I explained to you, we were born into this man is going to come. He's going to sweep you off your feet. He's going to take care of you. It's this fairy tale that we were taught as children, as little babies.
Can we burn that book? What book is that fairy tale
Okay,
in?
it's too late to burn it because we're still
No,
repeating
it's
that
not.
story. We're still repeating that story. Okay. And now, actually, the story has turned a little bit because now the story is you don't really need a man. You can be independent by yourself. All things you can do by yourself.
Yeah, and
Right?
and this place has the least amount of families than any other place. Let me tell a short story. Okay, it's going to be a short, sweet story. Okay,
Mm,
once upon
okay.
a time, Mike the philosopher, he dated an African woman.
Mm,
Okay, this African woman, she had her own business
mm,
in marketing.
mm-hmm,
Okay, um, she came home, she cooked, she cleaned. And
mm.
guess what she told me?
What'd
She
she tell you?
actually said she loves for me to eat her food.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
She said she loves for me to come home to a clean house. And
mm,
I know. And I asked her, wow, I've never seen this before. Why,
mm,
where is this coming from? She said she takes pride in her house being clean. It wasn't necessarily something she was doing for me. It's because she wanted a clean house. Why? Because she didn't want anybody to see the house a mess. Because in her culture, they don't allow people to come over and see messy houses because they're going to automatically blame the woman, like she
mm,
don't keep a clean house, she don't
mm-hmm.
know how to cook, this, that, and the third. And if you are caught slipping, so to speak, your husband can probably be taken. I don't know, but what she said is customary. I actually take pride in this. And I said, how did you learn all of this stuff? She said she was taught by elders at a young age, at
Mm-hmm.
12, 13 or whatever. This is what
Mm-hmm.
you do as a wife. We're preparing you to be a wife.
Yes.
And it went, I mean, the list went on from cooking to cleaning to how to please your man, all of this stuff. They were taught all of this at a young age on how to be a wife. And when I sat and I ate her food, I think she made me like sweet orange chicken. Okay, sesame seeds and all. I was like, oh, this is good. And she was just smiling and taking so much pride in me enjoying her food.
Mm-hmm.
The point I'm making is, and I'm not trying to, I guess I am kind of bigging up the African culture a little bit, but I don't think that they're any better than Western women. I just
But I
think
feel
that
like that's the perception that you have been giving. Ever since I've known you, that's the perception you have given.
what do you mean?
And that does not negate there's still women here in America that love doing that for their husband as well. They love for their husbands to come home and they cook for them and they do blah blah blah. Okay? But now, first of all, I like my house to be clean too. But what I'm saying is, why can't you help? If you help mess it up, why can't you help me? That's all I'm saying.
Okay, and let me
Okay.
give you her answer. Her answer is, that's, as a woman, I take pride in cleaning it how I want to clean it. As a woman, I take pride in cooking how I want to cook. As a matter of
Okay.
fact, if you're in Africa or in Asia, they will tell you, get out of the kitchen. Okay,
I know.
this is my domain. This is what I run as a woman.
Yeah.
And it's not about, oh, well, why don't you help? Why don't you do this, that, and the third? They have now, I would say this: in the East, in Africa, in Asia, they do have expectations of man being a provider and protector. You can't get away from that anywhere in the world if you're a man. Women are they're going to expect that. But they also take on their load as women in other countries. It's only here in the West that well, why don't you? Well, why don't you? They don't take pride in being the helpmeet, so to speak. And that's something I didn't even know this until I traveled. I didn't even know this. And I went to Africa, and I seen how the culture was, and I was like, this is dope.
Right. That's it. You want to be with the African women.
No, it's not just that.
I mean, you have to understand.
I love women all over the world.
There's cultural differences. Like I said, this is how we were raised. That's how they were raised. So to them, yes, it's normal. If they come to America and they see us as women, like, why aren't you making him a plate? Or why is he helping you in the kitchen? For them, they're like, this is ridiculous. For us, if we go to Africa and we see that, out of respect, yes, if they're saying get your butt in here because this is where you're supposed to be, while the men are out there talking or whatever, you're supposed to be in the kitchen with us.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to respect that culture. But that's not how I was raised.
I know, and that's why I have the question of, is Western?
But that's $1 million question that will never get solved, Mike. You're in America.
I know.
So therefore, if you feel like that's what you want,
it's not about whether I want, because let me tell you something. There's a part of Western women that I connect with more so than I do with African or Asian women. Okay. Culturally, I love y'all. Culturally, y'all probably understand my plight more, but African. But I had a philosophy, because I'm the philosopher, right? I had a philosophy, and here is my philosophy. You can tell me if I'm ridiculous or not. I invented something called the front door policy. Okay. I'm probably gonna get some people to trip out off of this, but let me explain it. The front door policy means this: if I had a choice, I would have a African wife in the inside the house, and I will have an African American wife outside the house, outside the front door. Okay. And the reason why I say that is because domestically, Western women not messing with African women. I mean, as far as treating their men, they're not messing with African women. Not even just African women, it's probably Asian women too. They just not messing with them. Now, outside the house, politically, monetarily, at the job, outside of the house, African women not messing with Western women.
Not necessarily.
Y'all are more liberal. Y'all understand the plights. Y'all understand what's going on, and y'all really connect on a political level better than Western women, because what I found is that Western women, African women didn't really understand the plight as much.
Okay, so let me just correct you a little bit on that, because there are some African tribes, African nationalities that are real big on women being doctors, lawyers, something high ranking.
Yeah. I'm
supposed to be that too, but so you cannot negate and say the African woman, she's better in the household because she don't know what's going on outside. There's a lot of Nigerian women, Congolese women that are in an upper echelon bracket because she knows what's the deal. So you can't say
I'm not saying that they're not successful. Look, African women are just as successful. I'm not saying they're not successful out and about in careers or anything like that. I'm saying personally, for me, I would the front door policy, I would take an African woman inside the house, I would take an African American wife outside the house, because when I did go to Africa, they did not understand the plight. They did not understand the plight of African American history and politics. Okay. It's more political. It's not necessarily career or anything like that. And they're very smart. Okay. They doctors, lawyers, things like that. And I respect that about Africans. I'm saying they lived a different culture than we did. Okay. Some might say, and this is kind of harsh, but they didn't have no sympathy for, Floyd.
Floyd?
Yeah, George Floyd. They thought that he should have complied with the police. Okay. Exactly. And that's the face I made. And what I'm saying is, it takes a while to explain the dynamics of that to an African woman. Well, wait a minute. Okay. Now, they don't have police brutality like we do. So they don't get it. They don't understand, why he didn't comply or whatever the case may be. Now, it's kind of hard to not understand that. It's kind of hard for them not to understand that situation because it was pretty blatant. But what I'm saying is, stuff like that, I would have to over-explain to my African girl sometimes.
Well, then it's the type of African girl that you are talking to. If she was taught to be a wife, then yes, she's not going to know politically what is going on. But if her parents are teaching her to get her education, she's gonna be on top of everything.
Well, I get that. I get that, and I'm not expecting her to look. She grew up in Africa. There are some gives and some takes, some pluses and some minuses. Same thing with the Western women. There's pluses and minuses, and that's why I created the front door policy, because I said they're better here and they're better here. So, in my opinion, as a man, but everybody is raised differently,
So you agree with polygamy then?
I'm not sure that's the subject. I'm not sure that's the subject.
I'm asking a question.
It was a metaphorical. It was a metaphorical type of comparison. I'm just saying metaphorically, I would take them inside, and outside I would take an African American woman. But to answer your question, I am for it. Yeah, I am for it. But
how do you feel about a woman wanting to be in a polygamous relationship with two men?
I think that's egregious. I don't think that makes sense at all, especially since there's a shortage of men. That don't make sense, because that's kind of because that's working against a lot of things. It's working against numbers, right? There are more women than men all over the world, right? There are more women than men. So that's one reason why it don't make sense. In the animal kingdom, that's rare, if at all. It's always a man and a alpha male. You look in the gorillas and the monkey, you look in all other animal kingdoms, it's a male and other female. It just makes more sense.
So the woman, she can be the third or fourth wife, but she's checking this dude out over here because she may feel like she's not getting enough time with her husband, so she can't go out on dates with him because it's just,
I just find it that it's women seem to, let me put it this way. If me and you was in a relationship, right? We was rocking out, right?
Right.
You wouldn't be checking to have dates with me every day. Okay, you will probably want to one day, just take me out on Saturday, baby. And to my favorite place, or we can go to this restaurant. You wouldn't be tripping on me every day. So why would it become a problem if there were two others? You see what I'm saying?
Because I'm sharing you. I don't want to share you.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's the ownership part. See, in this country, in America, everything is transactional. We taught all the citizens to be possession. Everything is ownership, right? You own a house, you own a car, you own land, you own everything. And that ownership mentality has transferred into relationships. So people think they own their man, they own their woman,
But God made one man and one woman to be together. Okay.
Yeah.
And so I don't think it's wrong that if a man is taking on 2 or 3 wives, then why can't the wife, wonder if she's the CEO of a company? Why can't the husband stay home and cook and clean and make sure the kids is taken care of while she's bossing out of control? Why can't that happen?
Bossing out of control as far as how? Like
she's the CEO
of a real company?
She's on Fortune 500. Why can't she then be in a polygamous relationship with 2 men?
First of all, why would she want to? Second of all, it still don't make
numerical
sense.
Want to? Like what? I mean,
because a woman can only carry one baby. Okay, a man carry many seeds. Numerically, it just don't make sense. Why you got to go to Maury just because you get pregnant in your own relationship?
I definitely don't have to go to Maury because I'm gonna know who my baby daddy is.
Not if you have more than one. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I'm gonna know it's gonna be him or him.
Oh,
him or him.
That's why it's to me it doesn't make sense for a woman to do that. It doesn't make sense for a woman to do that. That's just
okay.
To me, let me say this, and I don't want nobody to get offended. Hold your seats. Sometimes I feel like, right? Sometimes I just feel like women just want to be men so bad. It's considered D envy. Okay. And they I'm telling you, in career, in money, in head of household, in well, you do it, why can't I? Well, polygamy, oh well, why can't I have multiple It's like the women are always trying to one up and be the man in everything. I'm wrong about that?
You're so wrong. You're so wrong. What is wrong with having ambition and wanting to do better and move forward and move up the ladder in your life? What is wrong with wanting to get the same pay as a man who may do the same exact job as you? What is wrong with that?
Okay, let me explain what's wrong with that. Okay, let me explain.
So you think there's something wrong with it?
Well, let me explain.
Okay.
Okay. Say, for instance, there's a lot of things that women expect from men. They expect provider, protector, right? It's a lot of testosterone. It's a lot of male energy. Okay. If the woman wants to be a provider, take one of his roles and be a provider, that means we have a vacancy in the feminine energy. Who's going to be the feminine person in a relationship? Nobody.
Obviously one of the men.
If we got two men in a relationship, who's going to be the woman?
Obviously one of them, because they're going to be cooking and cleaning while I'm at work.
Obviously one. What do you mean? One of the other wives?
One of the other husbands.
Other the husband. That's not natural. It's not natural. It's natural for a what, and this is what I'm talking about. It's natural energy for a man to be a provider and protector. It's natural energy for a woman to be a nurturer and a manager.
Nurturing.
Huh?
Women are nurturing by just nature. They're nurturing.
They're becoming less and less nurturing, because what they're trying to do is get in provider and protector positions. They're chasing the man natural energy, and they're leaving their feminine energy vacant.
Okay. Let me
especially in the West, not in the East, but especially in the West.
Let me just ask you a question. So say a woman kind of had a child. She had a child at an early age. Let's just say maybe 20 years old. And the father decides, I ain't with this. Okay, so it leaves her as a single mother, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe another guy does not come in the picture, or a guy comes into the picture, but he's the wrong guy. So she gets rid of him. So she's constantly playing the mother and the father role. So naturally, she's going to take on an alpha lead. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. It's an alpha makeup that she is going to take, not by choice. It's not by choice.
Right.
It's because she has to. So as she's getting older, and if she's dealing with men that are just not cutting it, or she just doesn't deal with the man anymore, period, she's going to keep that alpha mentality because she was forced into that mentality. Mm-hmm. It's not that she wants to be the man. It's not that she wants to compete with the man. Now this is all she knows since the age of 20. All she knows is to be the decision maker, the provider, the nurturer. So she's wearing all these different hats. And I think that's what is happening, is a lot of women are forced into taking on an alpha role that they don't really want, but they have no choice but to take on that role.
They don't really want, but they oftentimes don't know how to let it go either.
It's hard. I'm
yeah. I'll be
the first one to raise my hand. It's hard.
They don't want to let it go, but here's the thing.
But if you've done it for umpteen years, it's just like telling a man to, I don't know. It's hard to explain.
But the thing is, if there's more women that's doing that, and even the younger women who's coming up with all this alpha or male energy, and they think that that's the thing to chase, it's leaving a serious void in the feminine energy. And that's
I
what
mean,
that's
it
what we want.
is.
That's what we want our women to realize. You're leaving a void in feminine energy, and we
But
need that
we're
filled
but you have to understand it's not, we're not doing it on
on
purpose.
purpose, right? But you have to snap out of it. It's up to y'all to snap out
It's
of it.
not, it's like telling somebody who's depressed, just snap out of it. You can't just snap out of it. It's
Yeah.
something where an alpha man, this is what you guys don't understand. That's why the man needs to man up.
Mm.
An alpha man